want to hear some music? And I put it out, and everybody was like, always, what is going on here? Great item to have on yourself.
Indeed. So yeah, we're about to. I think we're about to actually get rolling here in just a moment.
I cannot wait.
Wait for our runners to actually go, and there. I think
It's
we're
on.
off. Thought this was open mode. No,
Yeah.
you are mistaken, Uncle. So no sword at the start. We're not getting the sword off Uncle. Ooh, gloves.
And a dance. And a dance.
Very nice.
Yeah, gloves are super good early on because it opens up a lot of, like, you can already go that mountain straight after Sanctuary if you know how to do the dark rooms. You can go plenty of place with the gloves, and it's already half of what you require to go in the dark world. Well, yeah.
Yes, indeed. And both our runners picking up magical floating bush, throwing it, revealing the large
entering.
hole underneath.
I like to call this place the uncle hole because you fall on a hole to meet the uncle.
Uncle hole. That's nice. Tiara doing a little bit of a dance there. And they get the hammer to start with, so not bad.
Yeah, hammer is a great one because it does tier 3 damage, like the same as a temper sword, and also not only is it a weapon, it unlocks location, and I guess now we only need the moon pearl already to get dark world access.
Indeed, so that's
we're like
nice
1 minute into the race. That's amazing.
I wonder if we can beat the record for dark world access. I think one race I commented we had it at about 12 minutes, so let's see if we get the moon pearl somewhere in Hyrule Castle here. And DrKelexo and Tiara
alternative runs. Yeah.
Very interesting. So this isn't going to do too much as far as the actual distance traveled, but it's still fun to see.
Yeah, I always assume for some reason that the left side was faster because everybody used it, but then I learned that it doesn't change anything because I thought maybe pumping, but pumping is only in I don't think it works, but I'm not sure.
Indeed, and ether in that first tablet.
Yeah.
That first chest. Oh, Tiara takes an unfortunate death. Gonna have to walk back down there.
Fortunately, she doesn't spawn too far away.
Nope.
It was the first room, so just a tiny time loss here.
Indeed, this will be absolutely negligible on the long and short of it here. So maybe like what, 10-15 seconds, not going to be too big of a big problem for our runners.
Yeah, the runners are making a good thing to check. Oh, the flute! Wow, this is stacked, man.
Indeed. stacked castle. Wow. We're getting all the, if we find the boots in here, it'll be like transport. Easy mode.
Not only is it great to have the flute early on because you save time walking everywhere for like the 2 next hours, but also you can activate it on your way to Kakariko from the get-go. That's like the best.
Yeah, so that's an item you'd like to find early. I did a practice seed earlier and I found it in the first chest. Silvers! Oh my gosh. What is this madness?
Silvers, but there's still no bow, so it's still a bit useless. But when they get the bow, already fully charged.
Indeed. Yeah, it's just nice. So I would love to see Shovel and Kakariko. I've seen it actually a couple times now and there. It just makes the routing so much easier to get that one spot. And plus you can get Powder and Kakariko too. That would be another nice little find.
Oh yeah. Powder is especially great because it makes the run a bit easier for lots of these dungeons like Misery Mire, Turtle Rock, where sometimes the damage gets pretty high if you're still on green mail, but having the powder makes you like infinite fairies with the anti-fairies in these dungeons.
Indeed, we've got Tiara's got the interesting Twilight Zelda leading Link to the Past Zelda out of the dungeon.
Girl power.
Yeah, I hope they don't accidentally bump into each other. There might be a problem with the time-space continuum because of that, and they might both delete themselves.
Yeah. I wonder if you complete the escape, don't pick up Zelda and go all the way. Does it count? Because you technically put the princess where she belongs at the sanctuary, right?
Unfortunately, the game knows the difference, and it won't let you leave Hyrule Castle without the original Zelda here.
Yeah.
So one other thing to note, Tiara picked up a bomb drop on her way through here.
That's a major pickup here, because that's 3 chests available right now.
And the DrKelexo is probably going to try and farm for one, but we'll have to see what they're able to do.
In the case that he doesn't find it, it's not that bad because they already have the gloves, so they can come back pretty easily by the graveyard if they don't find it. What I think is more scary is when you don't find the gloves in the escape, and then you're wondering, what if the gloves are there? Then when I'll have to come back all the way by foot.
Or you'll have
I've never seen that happening, but it's always in the back of my mind when I don't get the gloves and no bombs. But
DrKelexo getting the bomb there.
They get bombs. Everything's good.
Indeed, so neither runner will miss out on what's up here. And then one of the interesting things to note is that if you don't get those bombs and you don't get the glove and the glove's in there, you have to wait until you find what would be the Titan's Mitt upgrade, which it's a progressive upgrade. So you'd find the first one, and you'd have to come back and get the Titan's Mitt out of that chest.
Well, yeah, technically you. But if the big gloves are hidden in the Dark World or behind the first glove, you have to go back from the entrance and redo the whole escape sequence by foot.
Oh, indeed, that's a valid point too.
Yeah, that's the problem I always fear. But both runners are lucky, and it's not happening tonight. And I don't think anything valuable was there, but makes sense because it was pretty much front-loaded here tonight.
Indeed. I don't know if we saw the map in there. We have not seen the map yet. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, no, we can see on Valkyrie's menu that she doesn't have it.
Okay, so if we don't have the map here... Oh, no, it must have been in there because DrKelexo just got a heart out of the Sank chest.
Yeah. Although it was not the Sank heart, because they did not get the heart refill.
And just big 20 and a 5 arrow upgrade there.
It took me a long time to realize what was the Sank art, because every time I was watching a stream and people said, "Oh, that's the Sank art," I was like, "What is the difference between the Sank art?" And I never realized that it's the only one that gives you back all your health.
Yeah, which is kind of weird when you think about it, because at this point in the game, you're only going to have 4 hearts, and if you've not taken any damage walking through the just a shield upgrade on
the
Lumberjack
shield.
Ledge.
What is right now the fighter shield could very well be the mirror shield later on.
Indeed, but yeah, if you're very careful and you don't take any damage, or you are at full hearts when you go pick that up, you'll never know that it refills all your hearts.
Yeah, I think it still makes the sound of refilling the only one you got compared to the others that don't. But I would need to make further inspection about that. But it happens a few times to me that I end up pretty banged up in escape in the NMG. It's super good, and it's always welcome to get the refill. And here's the first sword of the seed. It's located in the forest.
I think Tiara will be very happy to find that in just a moment here. Kind of following DrKelexo's footsteps, we get our first check, and it looks like 3 crystals.
Yeah. 3 crystals, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Desert and Eastern are even red crystals.
I actually think just Hera, I believe, is just the red crystal. I think it was number 1 is at Desert, and number 3 was definitely at Eastern Palace.
Yeah, that was a quick check. I'm super amazed when runners can visually memorize it in half a second, half a frame. I open it for 3 seconds and I'm taking notes. I need to get better at that.
Part of it too is knowing, I think, probably where to look on the map when you open it up, because once you know where those crystals are going to be, you just have to very quickly look, and you can kind of get the whole picture in your head. Yeah.
What I look for is red, blue, and green colors, because that's the pendants I don't need. But the red crystal are the harder to find. It's very subtle. It takes years of practice.
Yeah, I would say it takes me longer actually to mark which crystals and which, what's in each dungeon it is to actually see what's in them. Kelexo going and clearing out blind set. Doesn't really find anything there. Just a heart so far and well.
Kakariko not paying off right now.
Big 20. Maybe it's his kind of a punishment for having such a good start. Ooh, Ice Rod.
Ice Rod early means pendant the TR. Most likely. That's always the case.
Yeah, on the other hand, it is actually really nice to find that because we do get confirmation that number 1 is at Desert Palace, number 6 up at Hera. A bottle for LB. That's a nice find. You'll let rope sick kid in.
You did get confirmation that I'm a liar.
And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please rise, move your hats for the Spaghetti National Anthem.
Well, we can't hear it. It's the other one's audio.
We'll get Tiara will do the honors as well.
I was ready. I was listening. I was like, "Where's the sweet sound?" It didn't came.
We'll get it in just a moment here. So another opportunity.
Yeah, it would be a blunder not to do the flute at this point. But sometimes when you get it early, you kind of forget you have it sometimes.
Indeed. If you don't wear a hat, just a hook shot. Nice. That will help out in just a moment here. So, Ice Rod's actually nice to find early for 2 reasons. Number 1, it saves you the hassle of doing that later if you need it. I'm going to take a pause here for Sick Kid. Dude, you already have it. Mirror! Oh! Nice. This seed is ridiculous.
Yeah, Kakariko paying off in the end. And the south part, what's going to be here? 10 arrows! And those are not normal arrows, they are silver arrows.
Indeed. So the other half of what's nice to find with that Ice Rod early is that, like the Fire Rod, if you have access to Lamolas, you can use it just like the Fire Rod to do damage to the Lamolas, and it does the same amount of damage.
Oh, the last bomb was supposed to open the more bombs here, but the wrong side it went, and now Tiara Valkyrie is gonna have to buy bombs now.
And just a big 20 up on the maze race there. Kelexo gonna flip to Swamp.
I found out about the damage on Landmolas with the Ice Rod the hard way when I was doing a cross-roll entrance key sanity one time, and I had only a Ice Rod as a weapon to do Ganon's Tower. Well, I had bow, I guess, but not a lot of arrows. No, we didn't have bow. Yeah, we have bow. Alright, it's not important, but I had to kill the Landmolas with the boots!
Oh my goodness. The seed is like everything you could want that you probably will need at some point. Well, do you really want
soaky boots, though?
Yeah, it'll dry out. It's fine.
There's no time to dry. She's already wearing it. Oh, and DrKelexo realizing he doesn't have bombs, he cannot open the mini Moldrum cave.
Oh no. And Tiara has... The goose is loose on Tiara's stream. Those boots will dry out. They dry out in the air when you're flying back to Kakariko to get bombs.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They're fully drying it right now. 2 trips.
So Kelexo will be able to walk back to Mini Moldorm Cave with that hook shot. That will be very easy to handle. Just one shot all of the Mini Moldorms here, and just bombs up on that library bookshelf.
Bombs that could have been useful for Kelexo. For the doctor.
Indeed. Chat is mentioning that seeds that they've seen before were... Oh, there's Quake. Nice. Big 20. And there's Titan's Mates. Nice.
Titan's Mate.
Yeah, so chat's mentioning, oh, I've had seeds like this before, and they've gone completely sideways on me, and I'm like thinking in the back of my head, yeah, you know, that's a possibility. We still haven't found that Moon Pearl.
Oh, Moon Pearl on Pyramid is one of the trolliest location for that item. Or even right now, it's possible that the Moon Pearl is in Checkerboard Cave.
Yeah, I've had that in runs before. That's absolutely 100% possibility.
Exactly. Valkyrie now getting her set of soggy boots. Let's see how long it'll take before it dries. And a soul rupee in the ice cave. A frozen rupee. Could be a popsicle.
Lime popsicle. Delicious. So we've got a couple of locations now open here, which would be Kingstomb and Bunk Rocks are now open because of the boots and the Titan Smith combination.
I don't know how much these runners would be comfortable with. Oh well, they don't even need to do it lampless because they have the flute, so they can get the Dead Mountain already. I was thinking maybe going to Dead Mountain without the lamp is great, but they can go with the ocarina with the flute.
Correct. And you can actually use the hook shot to navigate that cave as well.
Yeah.
But they have the sword, so they should. So if they want to navigate it that way, they should be able to do that too.
Yeah, without sword, it's a bit difficult. But yeah, the hook shot. You just need something to know where you are sometimes. Because being completely in the dark, it's you have a lot of practice.
Right.
And I think we're gonna see Dead Mountain here.
I would say that's probably a good idea. And Kelexo's going to go ahead and walk in there.
Yeah. It's very convenient to get the uncle. Well, it's not an uncle, it's the old man, Gary the old man.
Yes.
It's very convenient to get him early because after that you can always save and quit to Dead Mountain, and it's a full art refill when you kiss the old man. It's also like, because you could go to Sanctuary, kiss the priest instead, but then it takes a long walk back to the exit to take your flute, so Mountain is like the best location. And both runners are gonna do it lampless.
Indeed. So get to see a little bit of memorization here. That's really the key to doing this dark room with the old man rescue. Just knowing kind of the general layout of what the room is. There's one hole that you need to be careful of. Other than that, it's just kind of knowing, okay, once I hit this wall, I go this way, and that way, and this way.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're not comfortable doing it at first, you can always refer to a little map, and when you have the visual on a second screen, it gets very, very easier. Oh, the red cane on the spectacle rock here.
And just bombs inside Spectacle Rock. So keep in mind, Scary, that they will be able to not only go up here, get the cane of Samaria, they'll be able to go into Tower of Hera, and because they have the hammer and the hook shot, they'll be able to go ahead and clear out all of the light worldy side stuff.
Even they can technically possibly go into TR at this point.
Kelexo forgetting doesn't have the book. Cannot go and
well,
check that yet.
Some people might know the ancient Arylian language without a book, so they could have tried to read it. And I wonder if it's a placeholder text or it really varies when you read it without the book. Because I know it's weird symbols and stuff, but could somebody that's really into speedrunning learn the language and be able to see without the book?
I think it's just placeholder text. Just default placeholder text. So I probably would say the same thing every time.
Because I know some people that were really dedicated were able to translate some of the stuff from the Arylian language in the newer games, like in Breath of the Wild. Their alphabet exists for real now and stuff.
Indeed, yeah. I think at this point in the series, you're forgetting to get the cane, but don't worry, it's all right. Get another shot.
Yeah, it's not a big time loss, and I really like the sprite. Oh, can we see here? Okay, I only saw TR is the green pendant.
There's a red pendant at Palace of Darkness, and I missed whichever one was the blue, but I believe it's either Skullwoods or Thieves Town. There's the last medallion. So, what do we need? What do we need for medallion access? It doesn't matter. It was Skullwoods. Okay, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah. I'm always relieved when I see that Thieves Town is a crystal, because Thieves Town is so easy to do, and when it's a pendant, it's a bummer. And Turtle Rock, being the green pendant, could be a troll item here there. And also that it's available early. It's like, is it a gamble that's worth the risk right now?
Well, it might be. Commentated the race yesterday where green pendant it was a 4-0 race, and green pendant turned out to be the winning play. Pico Pals went and checked it early, and it turned out to be an item for progression. That's
always cool when you do a very big gamble like that and it pays off. It must feel very nice.
Indeed. Pico Pals went and cleared that out early in yesterday's race, and his opponent waited a little bit later to pick it up, and it pretty much was the time difference, actually.
Oh, yeah. Very great execution from DrKelexo on the Moldrum fight using the hammer strats, so it takes only 3 hits. It's a smaller hitbox, but it saves a lot of time if you can pull it off.
Indeed.
And I like the play of going in a Spiral Cave now, since you have to go back with the Dark World, so saves a bit of time.
Yeah, we're still looking for Pearl, so...
Oh, that's true. Although you don't need... you can check the chest in Super Bunny Cave without the Moon Pearl.
That's true.
And every... I missed this on the first run of Doctor, but now every medallion is found for a runner, so it's guaranteed that he can get into TR and Mizumire.
That is correct. And DrKelexo gonna go ahead and just do Paradox Cave, probably without dipping in the Super Bunny Cave right now.
Well, I think you have to go in the Super Bunny Cave. Oh, you can go from every side, that's true.
Right.
I think, yeah. But it's faster from the top.
Ooh, red potion.
I like it when the content of the bottle is something actually useful, because when you get these, you're like, oh, that's like almost useless, except if you can keep them all the way to Cannon's Tower or Matsura fight, but Red Potion is pretty good.
Yeah, we won't tell VTorp about that comment. Picking up Blue Mail in Paradox Cave.
Blue Mail is pretty nice find. I mean, sometimes red mail you don't really see the difference at some point because you have so much art, but the difference between green mail and blue mail, it's pretty big.
Tiara was just really close to falling down that middle hole in the Moldrum fight. Kind of bounced right over it.
But also going for hammer strats, I like it. Oof.
Got it.
Get the job done. Do we know what was the other red crystal? I don't think we'll get to see when DrKelexo gets the map check too.
It's a possible play. You could, with what you've got, you can go ahead and open up Turtle Rock, do a check, maybe even open up TR itself if you just want to.
Well, I don't think you can open up Turtle Rock with as a bunny though. That's what I realized.
That's right. But you'd at least be able to check and see, well, it doesn't matter which one you have, but just kind of knowing for your knowledge if you have to go in there, right? Which one you want to pull out.
Yeah. And Valkyrie, realizing maybe she forgot the Spiral Cave and she's going back.
The Kelexo is going to make the checkerboard cave. Yeah.
I'm not sure specifics, but I think you can also get a check at the 2 Mirror Shed checks with a glitch.
Yes, you can.
So many glitches. Oh, but it's a desert play, and it's a good one because the boots, although no fire source, means no way to actually kill Landmolas, but you can get all the chests here.
Yeah, you can clear this out. You can be back here anyways at some point, so you might as well pick up the big key.
Yeah, that's very true. And progression very might well be here.
Oh, and indeed, those boots were needed, but we had those early, so no problem.
Will Valkyrie do the Super Bunny Cave? Or only Paradox? I'd like to see the Super... does Super Bunny Cave... Can Super Bunny Cave be in logic, or is it considered a glitch?
It's not really considered considered to be within logic, but it is a bit of a sequence break.
Okay. Because I thought if it's like, since it's the name of the cave, it's a pretty well-known fact.
There's
and the
Pearl.
Moon
Okay,
Pearl.
there we go. That answers that question.
Yep, it was required. And depending on the time that it takes Valkyrie to go into desert, Doctor can take quite a bit of a lead here, because there's still a lot of things to check in the overworld right now with what they have open. If I think all of Eastern is open to them, and the Zora area.
Well, now with that Moon Pearl, we've also got a huge amount of the Dark World now open to them as well.
Exactly. And you can see now that the second red crystal is at Swamp Palace.
Indeed, and in chat late you're mentioning that it's considered a minor glitch now. It was considered within logic in earlier versions, so...
Oh. Thank you for the knowledge, chat. I will be now able to know that forever.
Indeed.
And spread the word. Yeah, I like the Pod and Eastern, probably one back-to-back that Doctor is gonna do here. Even though there is no bow for the runners right now, it has appeared in there for sometimes. And Valkyrie is going for the Super Bunny Cave.
Maybe thinking better of it, or thinking differently of it for a moment. Yeah, maybe thinking going through TR would be better here.
Yeah, just a quick time in the Dark World. Just there's less enemies and it's a fun music, so I don't disagree with the choice.
Mm-hmm. Everybody loves Super Bunny music.
Yeah, it's the best song in the game. Well, that and the Arrow game.
Toot 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 toot.
Yeah,
love it. I'm just a big 20 up on Floating Island, so that will not be a visit for our runners. And indeed, Tiara is going to go to open up the Turtle Rock portal.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter which one it is, since they already have the 3 medallions, but from here she can do the Super Bunny Cave.
And Bombos. Oh, forgetting that you can't do it in bunny mode.
Yeah, well, since they use custom sprite, it's sometimes you forget you are a bunny. She's just chic right now.
Indeed. Oh, jumping down. Instead of... Oh. Whoops.
Can you push the blocks as a Super Bunny, though? Or you have to go from the... I think you can only get it from the top side, right?
I think so, yeah.
Because it's when you fall from the...
Yeah, it's the falling, I believe, that makes it possible.
And now, I think we're gonna see some checks that have already been checked by Doctor here. Or I don't remember if he actually checked that place, but I think he did.
Yeah, yes, Doctor has checked both of the boots locations up here in the northern part of Hyrule. So it'll be interesting to see if DrKelexo is going to attempt any of the dark rooms in here.
That would be great. I think this dark maze here on the left side is very difficult. Even when I use a map for it, I have some trouble. So it's very ballsy move, and it can pay off. Because what if some required item is there, like the flute, or not the flute? I mean the flippers could be like a big break for them, or the bow. The bow would be actually very amazing. Because now you could kill the boss here, Elmazor King, and then you can also go to do the Eastern Palace right after. And it looks like Valkyrie is about to get her Moon Pearl.
And it looks like DrKelexo's gonna think better of doing it. I'm gonna actually check. Looks like Checkerboard Cave here.
Yeah, but you gotta be worried about this red bird here. It does 2 arts of damage.
I think
she's
got this. I think
faster than you can walk.
Yeah. Meanwhile, DrKelexo going into Eastern Palace now.
Yeah. If you can find a bow here, then you can always go back.
Oh! That's a good play. That's a really good play, actually.
Yes. Because now it means the bow could actually logically be inside the dark rooms that DrKelexo just missed.
Yeah, and here's the problem for DrKelexo. Already has been up here and decided not to check Checkerboard Cave at the start here.
And also the fire source opens up the kill on Lembolus.
Indeed.
So that's going to be way more efficient from Valkyrie here.
Yeah, well, we can still find Fire Rod somewhere in Eastern Palace, and that could also open up the rest of this as well.
Yes.
How did DrKelexo miss that? Just didn't check it. Chose to go into Desert Palace instead. Got the Moon Pearl, and then did a clear of everything. Didn't find a fire source and backed out and went to do pod and EP.
Because we were believing when we saw him flute there, we thought he was gonna go check the Checkerboard Cave for the Moon Pearl, and then we thought, oh yeah, desert, and he never went back.
Yeah, I didn't check the Mire Shed either. So.
And he didn't check Agina's, right?
Nope.
Did they check Agina's?
Nope.
So yeah, it was just like desert, and that's it. I'm out. I don't want to stay here. It smells. Because swamp area smells. I understand him.
Well, it's actually more of a mire than a swamp.
Maybe I don't know.
Swamp is kind of a difference.
As a French individual, the word mire has no meaning for me. I don't know what it is in French, and so I have always referred it as like a swampish area.
They're actually they're kind of the same, to be honest. Mire is actually a type of a mire is like the overarching type of wetland, and then the swamp is like a subset of mires, actually, which is kind of weird.
Okay. I think I'll Google translate that. Just I think that now is the time I learned what is this.
Which actually is weird because swamps usually have. I'm sorry, I had to look that up on the phone, but apparently swamps are characterized by having forests, and marshes are not. So technically, Swamp Palace is actually more of a marsh.
Yeah, I always thought like this looks the Misery Mire area looked very much like what I'm thinking of a swamp, but like in a dark world. Like if I was like in Stranger Things in a swamp, that's exactly what it would like.
Indeed.
And like the Swamp Palace itself is like just a pond, right? It's not a swamp; it's a pond.
It might, yeah. It's like a bog. It's like a bog or a fen, something like that. Kind of weird. Okay.
Yeah, and the bow wasn't found in Eastern Palace either, so DrKelexo dipped both of these dungeons and has to go back out and somewhere else. While Valkyrie is going on and gonna kill our second boss for the second crystal, and she might be taking the lead here.
Indeed. The 2018 Spring A Link to the Past Randomizer tournament. Come for the rando, stay for the ecology talk.
I'm translating right now, and it doesn't. That's absolutely not. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. I'm translating Meyer from French to English.
Oh.
Because I was like, that doesn't work.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're having this side discussion. Tiara is going through and completing Desert Palace. DrKelexo is doing some checks here of Village of Outcasts. Hasn't found anything too important yet.
So, for the... I know I said I won't be speaking French, but since we're on the subject, okay, I'm gonna tell everybody what Meyer is in French, if there's anybody French-speaking here. It's a bourbier, which I've never heard even in French, so...
Interesting.
That's a unused term. And we're actually seeing Ice Rod strats here. That's great.
Yeah, we were discussing this back when they picked up Ice Rod in Puerto Rico. So very nice to actually get to see it. A nice example here.
Yeah, but the Ice Rod is, I think it's more difficult to use than the Fire Rod because the Ice Rod is slower.
Yeah, it's slower and it doesn't have, I think, as kind of a wide field of effect.
Yeah. So if you don't practice it, it can be hard, but she gets 2 kills with it, and she finishes off the last Landmolus with a hammer because there's no more magic.
Mm-hmm. Very nicely done.
Meanwhile, I don't think from the tracker that because I was so into the fight, I didn't check the first 4 chests in DrKelexo, but I don't think you got anything from the basement of Thieves Town.
Not a whole heck of a lot, no. Just the big key. Didn't even get the small key for the chest check here. We're gonna get Nagino's check, so we get to see is Agony Cave in play tonight. Not so much at 36 minutes. This really isn't too much of an Agony Cave. I usually refer to that term if it's an early check that's fruitless or a late check that turns out to be the item that was needed for progression, but you could have checked it early and you waited an hour in to check it. Just a heart, so that's nice, but not really too agony tonight.
Yeah, no. And that's great news for DrKelexo because he forgot or didn't choose to go there yet. And that could have been a big blunder already because of the lamp. 2 items missing, it would be very, very unforgiving.
Yeah, so for those wondering what our go mode is, we're going to need a sword upgrade. We're going to need the bow and the flippers. That is required, but there's additional items that could be required dependent upon if we have to dip into pendant dungeons here, which specifically would just be the fire rod, I think.
By a show of hand, how many people in the chat are rooting for the pedestal tonight?
Like every hand just went up.
Yeah, everybody takes their hand off the keyboards and they're like looking suspicious in their bedroom or living room. And we cannot see their hands, so
okay, so
jokes on them. Jokes on you.
So to think about this, we need to play a little bit of logic here and figure out what pedestal can't be based upon what the pendants are. So they're TR, Skullwoods, and Pod. So that unfortunately means that Fire Rod and Bow cannot be on pedestal because you're in a situation where the item you need to complete the dungeon is in fact sitting upon the pedestal itself, resulting in a lock situation.
Very true. But the flippers, what about those flippers?
Flippers could be, absolutely. You don't need them for Pod, you don't need them for Skullwoods or Turtle Rock, so flippers could be on pedestal. That could be your pedestal item if it's going to happen tonight.
I'm gonna get my calculator out, okay? I know for a fact there are 216 items, right? So that in a percentage, that means
it's a 1 in 216 chance for any specific item to be in any specific location.
I'll take those odds.
Because it's only a single item in each chest or each drop, so
I mean, it seems like a so small number for the number of times that it happens to me. But I guess when you start the seed, you have more odds because now we're just down to 1 items. But
yes, part of it too is to keep in mind that there's a lot of junk as well, and a lot of those item location checks And there's certain items that can't be in Ganon's tower. So anything you would need to access or to actually fully complete a crystal dungeon can't be in GT because, again, that creates a situation where you cannot complete the seed because the item you need's in a place that you can't access.
Like here in the chat here with the incredible knowledge telling us that 160 because you can exclude the dungeon items.
Right.
That's true. Like, the maps cannot be on the pedestal. We're not playing Key Sanity tonight.
So that would mean that there's 21 dungeon items, specifically the 21 dungeon items for the 7 Dark World dungeons, plus additional 9 for the overworld, plus the big key and the map in Hyrule Castle. So that's 32.
That's great news because that means that it's more odds for us for a pedestal seed, right?
Yeah, it does indeed move that up a little bit. There's 27 items in Ganon's tower, none of which can be a pedestal required item. There's a shield in the game.
And the great news is that this shield right there makes the shield on the Aga's ledge now a fire shield. So might get see the could be a sweet pickup. Just saying.
Yeah.
I like fire
shield. But yeah, it requires you to go through Aga. I don't know if that's a good play for a shield upgrade.
Well, I personally wasted more than 5 minutes once on TR dying to the laser bridge. So if you find a second shield, the mirror shield is pretty great.
So yeah, when you think about it, it's actually a little bit closer to. Gosh, it's a little bit closer. You get rid of those 32 plus the GT items. That's that's like 60 items right off the bat. So it's a little bit closer to like 1 and 156.
Great odds, man. There's a chance. There's a chance tonight. I've bought lottery tickets that have worse odds than that, so.
Yeah. So
the bet is free for me tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm trying to think. At this point, how many chests we've roughly opened? I'd say we've at least probably checked 60 or 70 locations.
Every chest we open that is not the flippers makes the odd go progressively higher. That's how maths works, right?
Yeah, that is correct. Actually, the way you look at it that way, every item that's not the flippers means that the next item next location that you open up has an increased chance of being the flippers, but also has an increased chance of being any item you haven't run across yet. So
what would be great, for the speed gaming platform would be like a super intelligent AI that calculates the odd of the pedestal probabilities and puts it like in the middle of the screen, and like every chest is open and both sides makes the number change. That would be super great.
Technically, I think you could actually do that with a manual tracker that checked off locations, just to check off. Since you're only looking for one item, technically you would just have to check off, I've checked all these places, how many. You would have to say, okay, here's the number of locations left, here are your odds based on that.
Yeah, the tracker, that could be like, the trackers, they don't do anything, like they just watch. They could do that at the same time.
let's not be mean to our tracker.
I know, I'm joking. I've been a tracker actually before. It's a lot of work, man. It's like you need to be super hard concentrated on tracking the items, and then there's action happening, and you're rooting for people. It's very more hard than you think it is.
Indeed, Drossie's doing a wonderful job tonight, so thank you so much for checking.
Yeah, I was just making a joke, but I really enjoy. I really appreciate you doing the work.
Good to see some B strats there from Tiara. That was really nice.
It's the first time I see B on blind. I didn't know it worked.
Yeah. Anything works apparently that can contact and cause a hit.
Yeah, I've seen it on Modula before. I've seen it in GT Climb, but blind it's a great. Could have seen a lot of it.
It's a great strategy to use if if you're low on health and you're just trying to be like, all right, I need like 1 or 2 more hits. Just let the B do the work. Oh wait, actually maybe the Bs don't work. Maybe it was just all for show.
Well,
but either way, I like it.
It was great.
It probably didn't actually work, but it looks nice.
Swag is oftentimes undervalued in speedrunning, but Valkyrie here is all for the swag tonight. She's always dancing when she finds a good item. She's very upbeat about this all, and I really enjoyed this. You know, we're doing it for fun in the end. Even some people are super competitive, but in the end, there's no prize at the end of this tournament, unfortunately. So let's take it fun, you know. Hype Cave.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hype Cave. We were talking about it, and DrKelexo went through Hype Cave, found the red ring, the green potion, and the last chest had the bow.
The bow.
Yeah, I would say that qualifies as fairly hype. Yes.
Yeah, that's hype. That's
I don't like that. Yeah.
The bow. That's one crystal more that we can get right now, and one more item maybe on Elma, but I'm not sure about the. I don't think we've seen all the items, so we cannot know for sure if Elma has not like the map or the compass.
Yeah, we have not seen a full clear yet from DrKelexo. Has chosen to not do the dark rooms yet. Cannot blame him for that, because those dark rooms in Palace of Darkness and not so much Eastern Palace, but Palace of Darkness dark rooms are like brutal.
Yeah. Do you think Valkyrie, with the route she's about to do with the purple chest, and she probably find a bow before even going inside, and she has already the lamp, so when she goes in, she can clear everything.
Indeed, we'll be able to do Eastern Palace and Pod if so desired.
Valkyrie was heading towards the chest, the digging game, but she realized that you cannot do the chest game with the digging game with the chest, unfortunately. So she has to walk away. But I think DrKelexo did that already and did not find anything useful there.
Found a shield.
Oh, the shield. That's true. How can I forget this?
We had that very brief discussion about whether it would be.
Yeah, we talked about it for like
worth to go to Aga, and I was like, no, not yet.
Oh yeah, and
not
then
until they have to do laser. Not until they have to do laser bridge without a cane or cane of Brian or a magic cape.
Exactly. Well, we could like redo the whole conversation up to that point, and have like an infinite loop of conversation for the rest of the night.
Oh goodness.
But I don't have good enough memory to hold the conversation for long, because I already had forgotten about the shield. So
indeed, yeah. And the runners are supposed to have the coffee break. We're not supposed to have it.
Yeah. So DrKelexo doesn't go all the way to Zora because I think he doesn't have the money.
Yeah, about 165 short.
That's unfortunate. Zora could have the flippers today if it's not the pedestal.
Could be vanilla flippers. That would be something. But in that case, I don't think either runner will be getting that for some time, because Tiara is only at 163 on the rupee count, so still quite a ways away too.
There's so many items, and there's not lot of money on this season.
DrKelexo's gonna go check Hookshot Cave, and probably do Super Bunny Cave here as well.
And you probably maybe the first dip into TR.
Possibly, I think they might go and open up Dark World Access Portal on top of TR, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's I'm really hoping that DrKelexo thinks about the Mara area soon enough, because if he cannot do all the dark rooms, like it's gonna get a bit a bottleneck for him.
And Chad asking, where's the bow? There's the bow. In fact,
There's
it just
the
popped
bow.
up on Tiara's stream in Hype Cave in the last chest.
A bow for you, a bow for you, a bow for everyone.
Indeed. So Tiara 2 items away from go mode right now: flippers and the Master Sword upgrade.
Indeed. Maybe though we might need some other items like the bow. Not the bow. We already have the bow. I mean the book for if one of these said items are on the tablet or the pedestal.
Yeah, it'll only be the flippers could only be on those locations because of the way that the game works, I believe.
Couldn't be.
Actually, maybe there could be
fire rod? Could be on the tablets, right?
But without the they need a Master Sword upgrade. You need a
That's true.
you need at least the Master Sword to be able to use.
I always forget about the
tablets.
Master Sword as a Go mode item, so technically it's 3 items Go mode.
For Kelexo, yeah, yes, potentially. For Tiara, she's only gonna need the flippers and that sword upgrade.
Oh, because Skullwoods isn't. Oh yeah.
Skullwoods
But
Skullwoods and Tiara are not.
that's not always the case where GT Big Key is on the right side.
That could be the case. If GT Big Key's on the right side, Fire Rod may be required
You
unless.
can do it with a lamp. I've heard tales of, but I've never seen someone actually do it.
I haven't seen it either. It requires a bomb jump that's very tricky to pull off, but it's possible.
Yeah. I'm really hoping I see one day one of these incredible seed where people go mode at like 1 hour and 10 and then get into Guinness Tower and then they don't have the boots or the fire rod and they have to go back all the way and then it's chaos because where do I go now? I go moded so many dungeons. That's a dream scenario for me.
Indeed. So yeah, Fire Rod. If it's gonna be one of those 4 chests on the right side of Ganon's Tower, then yeah, we will need the Fire Rod for that. Increased bomb storage, low price on Ether, so just a bomb upgrade.
Just a bomb upgrade. Bomb upgrade are good. They're worth it.
Yeah, this is the difficult part when you're kind of 1 or 2 items away from Go mode, because you're still checking every chest.
Yeah.
But you're only looking for 1 or 2 things, and the odds of finding something that gives you progression. Kelexo's going into TR. Okay, interesting.
Nice. Although TR could be very limited if there's no key in the first chest, then you cannot open the torches because no fire rod.
Correct.
Probably hoping for that scenario because then it takes him away right now.
Yeah. Those asking in chat about fire rod, it's not necessarily required if the key's not on that right side. If it's on left side, it's not a problem.
Yeah, right now you can go on until he doesn't have a key. And I think there is a certain way that he can go all the way up to the boss. I think if the map and the compass are in those 2 chests, then they are absolutely not required.
Right, that is correct. So there will be a couple of potential locks here. Big key being the first one. Potentially other key locations. Oh, Chain Chomp Room is brutal.
Yes. They do more damage here than they do in Mario, I'm pretty sure.
I think so. But yeah, it depends on the key layout of Turtle Rock. They'll let us know how far Kelexo can go. So if we get to a point here where this Chain Chomp chest does not have a small key in it, that will be the end of the dip into TR.
The ends of times.
And after that will be the big key. Will be the next one to check. Uh-oh. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Cape strats? Oh, there's no cape, no blue cape, no. I'm holding my breath.
Yeah, I was worried about that. Meanwhile, Tiara just going through, and Kelexo's trying to do that, completing Eastern Palace.
And 4 crystal done under 1 hour. That's a great pace right now for Valkyrie. That's always something I look for. For crystal at under 1 hour, it's like I'm on a great pace, I think.
She's at 3 actually, but still 3 at 53 minutes is really good.
No, I think she's at 4, right?
She is at 4. Yes. I missed Steve's Town for a moment there. Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, we were too into the maths discussion there.
Yeah. We're discussing the logic of Turtle Rock a little too much.
And
I forgot about
Dr. Kelexo leaves the Turtle Rock area, says, I cannot take this, I'll come back later.
Yeah, never a bad idea if you're struggling with something and you don't really need to go do it, you can always go back out, try and find some more items that might help either point you in the right direction or just help you get through that dungeon.
Very true. Also, like, it can get very frustrating if you like took 3-4 deaths to the same spot, then just go do something else and it clears the mind, and when you come back you can be a good attitude about it.
Tiara's going to go ahead and do the fake flipper here.
Oh.
Check the Valkyria. Just a big 20. Wonder if we'll see us swim down to Zora. Indeed we will.
Yeah, but no.
So very
uncle.
nice setup. A
The
very nice
uncle,
setup.
Oboe.
Yeah. Oh, accidentally does the thing that everyone does every once in a while. When you accidentally go back through the portal.
Yeah. I understand the choice sometimes not to do the oboe because it takes a very specific setup to go back to swimming. Otherwise, you can get totally soft locked, and then you have to reset your game.
Indeed, Kelexo just got wall mastered in Skullwoods, unfortunately.
Yeah. You gotta be always on the move on Skullwoods because you never know where you're gonna get grabbed.
Right. Yeah. I guess Tiara probably doing the fake flipper is looking for a sword here.
Yeah, and she also can get to Zora with the money now. She found some dough, so.
I was going to mention something here. You probably saw it earlier, but Tiara used a bomb to set up the fake flipper jump there. Actually, it's a really nice strategy because when you get knocked back by the bomb, it doesn't do a screen transition when you hit the edge there. So that's where you need to be able to activate the fake flipper. So it makes it super easy to do. Yeah, Tiara's got to be looking for a sword at this point with the visit up here.
Oh my goodness! I called that earlier.
You did.
That's an unfortunate item to find. Well, now what does she need for? She only need a master sword, right? All right, that's a good item then, because I always think I like when I find the flippers as my go mode item because then it guarantees swamp and ice to be go modeable.
Yeah.
And right now that's the case.
I think at this point, Ped State's pretty much lying on the floor, dead.
Yeah.
Because the fact that there's still 3 swords out there, that would mean I think your odds of finding another sword upgrade before you have to go to pedestal are a lot higher. At this point, the only scenario where that would actually be a thing would be if you find everything else except the 3 sword upgrades, and 2 of those sword upgrades are locked away in GT. And you, for some reason, you can't get a crystal or something. I don't know. I feel like still you'd want to go to GT and get those sword upgrades in that case.
Yeah, there's more chance for that. But right now, if Tiara decided, okay, I'm go moding everything now, I just want to go as fast as I can, there's gonna be some tough bosses. Like Cold Stare on Fire Sword with no Fire Rod. That's a hard fight. So do you think she's gonna go mode from now on, or do you still go for item check at this point until you get at least Master Sword? We'll never know. We will never know. And I think we get our answer here because she uses the bomb here, looking for a Master Sword, and I don't blame it because Fire Sword is very not great. Even in this dungeon, if you use the Fire Sword on the boss, and I think you don't even do damage to the puffs, or at least you have the hammer to do some damage, but it's the menu fight at this point because you just you have to switch between the sword and the hammer and the sword and the hammer. So I understand the fact that looking for Master Sword at least is a good idea.
I would agree with that. I think having Master Sword at this point is going to be Make everything a lot easier, especially the Argus fight.
Yeah. And if you can find Master Sword on the overworld before you get into GT, and then if you can find like Tempered in GT, then it makes everything more safe.
Yes, indeed. So the nice thing is they have silver, so you don't have to worry about having to do silverless Master Sword Ganon. That's always a brutal thing. Kelexo's going to get the flippers, though.
Mm-hmm. But that's a bit unfortunate for him because he still doesn't have the lamp, and he might be tempted to go into Ice and Swamp and full clear those because they don't need the lamp, and he might think the lamp isn't there. Although right now, since Valkyrie is not go moding them, it's not gonna be that of a time loss. But once Valkyrie start go moding, it will.
That is correct. Actually, making interesting choice here to skip left side Swamp Palace.
I think I like the choices. Like, okay, she's clearly not go moding everything, but she's not gonna do the thing that's overly long to do.
Right. Playing the odds here that even if both those chests, let's imagine both of those chests somehow have sword upgrades. There's still a sword upgrade out there somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
In worst case scenario, if you check everything else, you at least know that you have. Hopefully, remember you have this square out there. You can go back and be like, "Oh, the sword upgrade. It's got to be heading out in Swamp Palace."
Yeah.
Plus, having that big key now will perhaps prompt the opportunity to check if we are still short items. There's the boomerang.
Boomerang, when you already have the red boomerang, is pretty useless, but some people prefer the blue boomerang.
True. Some people like it better.
I personally prefer the red one, but I think it likes the screen a little bit.
It does, yes. A lot of the magic items will do that.
Yeah, it's very apparent with the silver arrows, but I think boomerang it doesn't really do it. And here it goes for the hammer fight, which is the menu fight.
Yes, the menuing fight. Actually doing the really nice thing here and pulling two of them at a time. So that's actually gonna cut down on the amount of menu swaps that Tiara will have to do.
Yeah.
And indeed, Kelexo is gonna go do Ice Palace right now, thinking that flippers are the key to doing that, and that
very
whatever
brave
he's
decision,
looking for is in here.
considering the equipment.
And yeah, the hammer fight's not particularly super difficult. It's just really time consuming.
Yeah,
The number of swaps that you have to do here.
So what do you think, Tiara, what is going to be our dungeon route from now on after this one? Where do you go from here?
So routing wise, where do we go from here? Let's take a look at what we have access to and what we still need to be looking for. There's five crystals. The last two are going to be here are Ice Palace and Misery Mire. Getting both, and complete both. I think at this point, maybe you do Ice Palace because it's kind of a slightly trickier one. There's the Fire Rod.
Oh, that's gonna make things very nice for Ice Palace. When now I would very consider it.
Yeah, I would say so too. I think that's probably the one you do. Because there's more items in there, the chests you're checking, there's fewer chests that actually check overall compared to, say, Misery Mire, which has a whole bunch of keys that you don't really need. So,
and we can also see that on Tiara's stream that she has the green goo, so she will have, although she already has the bombos, that's gonna take less magic to take away the ice, and then they have alt magic plus a bomb refill, goo refill. That's going to be super useful against Cold Stare, even on Fire Sword. But it looks like she decided to go to Misery Mire.
I can't say that. Can't say it's a bad call. Can't say Green Ice Palace to be a bad call either. I think they're both at this point. They're kind of you're kind of if you're going to be looking for everything for a sword, they're kind of the same depending on where those items are placed.
Yeah, but I think there's a slight advantage to doing Misery Mire first because this dungeon requires you to find the big key, right? So even though you can technically go mode it, you will still have to open the chest, and you might find items there. So if Tiara can find the sword, like Master Sword there, while looking for the big key, she doesn't lose any time, and then after that she can feel very more comfortable go moding ice.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly. I think that's absolutely really good logic to consider with this play.
Yeah. Because right now, Kelexo is not go moding ice at all, and it's time-consuming dungeon. If you don't go moding for the number of items that it gives, it's only 3 items.
Yeah, it has fewer chests to check than Misery Mire overall, but the chests are not very like placed together, and it's a fairly linear dungeon with multiple levels. So you're doing a lot of walking up, walking down, going here, going there. You don't really have a lot of variance in how you can tackle this if you're doing a full clear.
Exactly, and right now it doesn't look like it's paying off at this point. I only saw that I got 20 rupees.
Yeah, it's so far not finding what he's looking for.
Can maybe help for a potion later on, but... Bugnet, Swagnet, acquired. And DrKelexo has the powder, but it doesn't look like Valkyrie has the powder from what I see on the tracker, so that's unfortunate.
Correct. Yep. And
in Misery Mire, she could make a refill on these fairy in the bottles.
That's true. Oh, forgetting about the switch there. I gotta flip the switch before you can walk through that door that way. DrKelexo picking the key. Tiara's actually gonna go ahead and go to the back and take care of Biddy.
Yeah, well...
I think... Has she found both items already?
I haven't seen an item. I think I only saw keys and the big key, but
okay.
If Tiara is confident that she will find a Master Sword, like you said earlier, if she can find a sword, she's probably fairly confident she can find a sword in Ganon's Tower at least. So the priority is checking easy items and go and finish dungeons. Like the room sequence is very long to do, so I understand skipping it, even if that might have an item.
It'll be interesting to see if she dips back in for that after beating.
She flipped the switch, even though she didn't need to, but she realized it before. Yep. That's good.
Indeed. So, yeah, she's only found one item in here, and it was the bug net. So, there's a second item hanging out somewhere in Misery Mire.
Looks like DrKelexo found the blue cane, the Brian's cane, in Ice Palace, so it's not all lost.
No, that will actually be, if worst case scenario, it turns out that there's only one sword upgrade in the outside of GT, and it's on Laser Bridge, that will actually be helpful.
Yeah.
So we may see.
And it can even help a little bit here in the fight against Cold Stare.
Yes.
You don't
see Tiara pick it up. Oh, go ahead.
And Vitreous is gonna be a piece of cake here with silver arrows. Oh, and armor strats for Vitreous, for Cold Stare on DrKelexo. The armor strat's very dangerous because the puffs do a lot of damage if you hug them. And the hitbox is very small, but it does more damage than even the spins on the Fire Sword.
Indeed. Unfortunately, not having that Fire Rod from Swamp Palace making this a little bit of a longer fight.
Fortunately, DrKelexo has a red potion, I believe, so he will be able to have a full art refill if he gets another hit. And Tiara heading to buy more potions for the dreaded Ice Palace.
And Colts there is down on Kelexo's side. Just a compass drop.
Unfortunate that there is no sword here, so it basically means that Tiara is after, unless she finds the sword in Oboe, she probably will head into Ganon's Tower on Fire Sword.
Yeah, gonna make the gamble. This is a possibility. Could check. Well, we've seen Hookshot Cave from Kelexo, right? We know it's not in there. Okay.
Indeed.
I was thinking about that. If it could possibly in Hookshot Cave, but
and we've also seen most of the Palace of Darkness, except the Dark Rooms. So unless all the swords are on the laser bridge,
that would be. I think that would be the funniest thing I've seen, and I've seen some funny stuff commentating these races.
Yeah.
Laser sword bridge.
While our runners are doing 2 dungeons that they each other have already done, now is a good time to remember you that you should probably follow these runners. They are showcasing their skills here in front of everybody, and it's good to show support, so I would encourage that, but I know I will.
I would certainly agree with that. I think that's always really good. So yeah, we'll get to see from Kelexo maybe left side swamp check and see if we find the swords in question.
Yeah, because from his perspective, there's still a lot of he still doesn't have the lamp, so he might have to check it all, and he might find 2 swords. Who knows? Could be a very interesting race if he finds 2 swords, and then Tiara is she has to do it on Master Sword, and Kelexo goes super fast through the rest of the seed because he has the Butter Sword, and then we could have a more close race, but who knows? Tiara killing the penguins. Sometime when I'm low art, I try to get that fairy to give me the anti-fairy to make a fairy, but then I get killed by the penguins because they're just the worst. Like the penguins, well, I think in terms of who's the worst, I think the crabs are the worst, and then the redbirds, and then the penguins is my top 3 worst enemies of the game. And we'll see if Tiara is going for the bomb jump or not, and it looks like she is not, but that doesn't really matter so much because she has the possession of the Burn Arcane, Summer Arcane, I mean, sorry. So she doesn't need to do the whole dungeon, and she can just go down and put that red block there, and it'll do the job. Yeah, indeed, from the chat Doomtap, Fat Fairy has been available. She could hold the swords, and I wouldn't be surprised if the runners go there if there's no other option before they head into GT. But if it really happens that the runners go into GT on Fire Sword, I would be pretty ecstatic because, like I said, it's part of my dream to see one race where people have to go out of Ganon's Tower and then look for more. Maybe the dream will be rewarded tonight. Since Valkyrie hasn't gotten the big key yet and didn't do the bomb jump, it means she has to She has to clear a bit of the dungeon until she finds what she needs.
Indeed. And Kelexo is going to go check the left side here, so we'll get to see if there's anything important over here.
Yeah, I'm rooting for swords.
Would be interesting to see some over here.
Otherwise, Master Sword Ganon, when you have the silver arrow, it's not too bad, but it can be pretty delicate because he does a lot of damage, and our runners are still on blue mail. Blue mail is better than green mail, but for Ganon, red mail is pretty nice. Oh, the map is found, so no sword. And the compass. Oh, Tiara must know that those are the 2 items on there because she checked the rest and it was all items, but I didn't remember. So that's an unfortunate time loss for when it happens to you. Like if you're in the DrKelexo shoes right now, you're like, oh damn, I lost because this side takes 3 minutes to check, and when it doesn't pay off, and it's really bad.
So we are missing the big chest check as well. It'll be interesting to see if Kelexo goes back.
Yeah, that's
having
true.
that big key checks that.
Yeah, because Valkyrie did not go back, right? It was in the sunken chest, if I remember correctly. Nice fairy pickup here in ice. Tiara got her powder. I missed that somehow.
The powder is at Hobo.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
Batcave could have then the... What?
Sure
Batcave could hold the mushroom. We could hold the shovel. We could have a sword. The fetch quest for days.
100% in the logic. Unfortunately, since we already know where the book is, we can't throw that in there either. That's always a fun one, you know. Mushroom to powder, to shovel to book, and something's on a tablet.
Yeah. It's a great idea for a Plendo where you do this and then you put nothing at the end.
Oh, just bombs, unfortunately. And then put like have it be oh gosh. Put a item that you need. Oh, that would be evil. Make it bootsless. Have the boots be in the somewhere in GT. Or hookshot would be another good one. Have it be hookshotless seed without having to do a pendant, but hookshots in the Ganon's Tower big key chest.
Oh,
the big chest, the one that nobody opens.
Yeah, you never think about this one. I'm gonna take notes here. I've tried only once to do a Plendo. Like, I wrote it down. It took like 2 hours of my life, and then I entered it in the website, and it just told me like, your Plendo is not logical, and I had forgotten about so many things. Like, I never remember that Ice Palace requires a hammer.
Just the key in that big chest too. So, well, we're gonna be going into potentially going into GT with nothing but a fighter sword.
Yeah, unless Tiara goes for the Fat Fairy.
Ooh, that's a good check.
Also, it's good because you can put your bottles in there and get some potion going, maybe for or bees for Ganon's Tower.
So here's my question. That's scary.
Yeah.
Early GT key, you only have fighter sword. You keep checking chests even after you get it. Try and find that sword.
You mean when I
would
go?
assume-
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do.
You get
I
like a
do.
you get like a really early key, like it's in chest number 5 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, you do, because technically you don't need the fight. You don't need a Master Sword for Ganon's tower itself. You need it for Ganon fight. So
Right.
there's no way you go out of GT. But then after that, I don't jump in the hole to go beat Ganon. You go back in the hoverworld.
And you start cleaning up the map, looking for it.
And both bosses defeated pretty much at the same time here. But for Tiara, it's the last remaining one for her before she can do the Ganon's Tower. And DrKelexo has still Mr. Meyer, Eastern, then Desert to do because he has no lamp.
Yeah. I was gonna say, all 3 sword upgrades being on Try Next, like it just drops all 3 of them at once. Just like we had
One
these
for
the whole
each
time.
head, yeah. Oh, I'm really like I know we were rooting earlier for really low odds of the pedestal flippers, but now I'm kind of hoping for a 3 sword on the laser bridge.
Ooh, and we got to check a Bombos tablet. There's Cape on the Bombos tablet. So Tiara's going to be going up to GT now without that fighter sword, I believe.
And the super speed, nice.
Indeed. So that means it's time for the guessing game, as always. So there are 22 item locations within the bottom half, I guess you could say, of Ganon's Tower, where the big key could be. If you would be so kind as to put your guess in 1 through 22.
Can we participate in that as caster?
Kind of. I guess I'm not too certain what the numbers are, but I think you can. But the first or closest guess from a sub or supporter, which means you're subbed to any of the Speed Gaming channels, or you've donated cheer 250 bits, you will be on the leaderboard.
Because the last race I commentated, I just said my pick by my voice, you know, and it turned out I got it, and the person that got the closest number was not the number that I chose, was like the closest one. So if I typed it, I would have won. So I would go and type it because I want the fame.
I threw mine in there as well. I always guess 12, which is a lucky number for me, and it usually turns out to be a rando room, so it's a good place.
I always go for 17. It's like after the armors fight, or in the middle of random room if you went left side first.
Yeah, usually 17, usually in the back of the armor chest there. And DrKelexo
finds the lamp.
That lamp, yes.
That's good.
It
must hurt a little bit knowing I went there before and I was like a few meters away from getting it.
TR getting the book. A little unhappy with that, unfortunately. But good news is that neither tablets can actually be activated yet. So neither can
even if...
Yeah.
Would it be funny if like you check both of them and it's sword and sword? You cannot get it.
That would be absolutely troll. She can find out what's on there, which is a bomb upgrade and a magic cape, but in either case, we'll not be picking up either of those without the
sword on both tablets and the last sword on pedestal. It's like the trolliest.
That's mean. That's mean.
It could happen, but not this one, I guess. But it could happen.
Someday it will happen. Just pure combinations of items that'll happen, and it will be sad.
Yeah.
For whoever gets that.
All right. Tiara gets the key, but up to go for the right side. Are we counting items? It's 2 right now. I'm gonna mark. Yeah.
We're at 3, so 2 keys so far.
Nice landmolest fight on Calixo's side with the magic bow. silver bow, very nice.
Indeed. So yeah, Kelexo just has to go ahead and finish off Eastern Palace, and then do
Misery Mire.
Misery Mire. Yep.
So, do you think we're gonna see a sword in this Garen's Tower?
I kind of think the odds are yes.
I know someone who's rooting for it very hard.
I'll just say this: I would hate to see what we have to figure out where to go next if it's not in here.
Yeah, well, GT's your best bet after that, I think.
Yeah, with the sheer number of items in here, you would think still missing all 3 sword upgrades. You know, that would be a fairly high chance that at least one of them is buried in here somewhere.
Worst case scenario for Tiara is if the swords are, some of the swords are in like Misery Mire, because she skipped a lot of chests there, right?
Yes. If there's a sword upgrade in Misery Mire, Kelexo checks it, and he has that, then this entire race could just be turned straight on its head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not every seed you get this where you go to Ganon's Tower on Fire Sword, because there's 4 chances for you to get the sword before. 3 more, I mean, and now today, that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but not unprecedented. So we're making our way now to Rando Room.
And I stopped counting items, okay, so there was 4 more, and 1 more.
10 through 13. Number 11, come on, 12. No, I'm wrong.
17, man, it's always 17.
No.
Well, DrKelexo is Go mode, right? Well, Go mode without a sword.
Yes, both runners are in Go mode sans that Master Sword.
Yeah. But he's looking like he's going for the right side. Left side, I mean.
Yeah, he's gonna make the same play, gonna go ahead and just walk on in.
Or he's just taking a slightly slower path to the boss.
Yeah,
all right.
There's... Yeah, so this will be 14 right here. With Bob's chest. No Bob today. Oh, it's in Bob's chest. The Tiara's gonna go at least keep clearing out everything in here, because you need to find that second sword in here if it's here.
And I understand this, and I would do the same. Like, you cannot...
Yes.
And I would even go check the big key chest.
Absolutely.
Oh
no!
Oh
no! Why? Why would you do that, game?
This is so great. Yeah, I wonder if now it's I'm enjoying this very much right now. I missed. Okay, yeah. The DrKelexo, in fact, did not check, so we won't ever know. Maybe the swords are in Misery Mire.
Could be. Watch it be in the last chest on the ascent there right after Moldorm 2. Oh my gosh.
It looked like a sword, you know, it's like a pointy object, but it's not a sword.
Yeah. There would be much sadness and anger.
So, did we ever knew who won the big key chest, the big key contest?
We had. Let me check here quick here.
Highway Smashing
with guessing 13. So closest guess won this time. Congratulations, Highway Smashing.
Almost congratulations, because you didn't get it exactly right, but still the best out of everybody. So
indeed,
like 9 out of 10 congratulations.
I'll give him full congrats for that. You know.
Okay, some people are more generous than others.
I'm nice about it. It's really hard.
Yeah, yeah.
1 in 22 chance is not. It's lower odds than a lot of other things, but still, it's not the best odds. Oh,
yeah, a bit too slow here. I think the going for the green refill was a bit greedy.
Mm-hmm. But the enemies are all taken care of, so this should be a quicker.
Yeah.
Got it now. Okay.
So 4 more chests here down the guidance star, and after that you gotta go do the climb. And doing the climb on Fire Sword.
Oh, tile room.
Oh, tile room. Yeah, but I wouldn't do tile room. I'm not desperate enough.
Look, with the way this steed has been so stingy with the sword upgrades,
yeah.
I would do tile room. Just no. Oh, be careful.
Yeah, so I always forget the orders matters on these
top left one. No, top left one always opens it up.
Oh!
No.
All right, there's a twist here. There's a twist.
Yeah. People asking what's on pedestal. At the rate things are going, we're gonna find out when the credits hit.
We're gonna go when they go get the sword from the pedestal.
Indeed.
But the odds that there are a sword is the best odd in the game right now. It's the item that's the most.
Oh goodness! Gonna skip tile room. Okay.
Yeah, I understand the move.
Yeah, I understand it as well. It's a single spot, and it's a pain in the butt to do. So.
And you can always go, like, if you finish this, you can always go back there, I guess.
Check that, yeah, if need be. Might as well go and try and do the ones that are on the climb here. There's a couple of them.
And it's a nice consolation prize. Like, okay, you didn't get the Master Sword, but you get the tunic, and that's gonna make the climb a bit easier.
Oh. Just gonna use that. There we go.
Yeah, there's a lot of trolley location remaining for swords to be.
Oh yes, we have barely even scratched the surface with a lot of our pendant dungeons here. So.
So there's on the top side of Cannon's Tower. How many chests there are? I think there's 4 more.
There's 4. Yeah, there's 2 in the. There's nothing in the gauntlet, and then there's 2 when you get up to 6F in the room with the helm swords. And there's 1 in the room with the anti-fairy and a bunny beam, but really it's 2 fairies at that point. And then there's the last chest.
And tonight, the main theme of the night has been statistic and odds, and I think right now there's more odds that the swords are not in GT that they will be in here.
Yeah, there's only 5 places left to check, so.
And remember, at the start of the seed, I told people my dream is to see a seed where this exact scenario happens. So dreams can happen.
You might be in your wish, Gary.
I'm so much enjoying this. And DrKelexo is now on his way to the Cannon's Tower. So they won't be so much far apart. And if the swords are not here, all bets are off. It's gonna be wild. The runners must know that the fire sword is not... Cannon is not doable. But it's like a scenario that's so rare. I could see someone going for trying to get Ganon on Fire Sword. Nice Fire Rod strat here, because you don't see those strats often, but now that you don't have the Master Sword, these rooms are really painful, so good choice to use the the tools that you have at this point. And I wouldn't be surprised to see like a medallion being used, and silver arrows, fire sword, fire rod, everything. one land molestus down. Meanwhile, DrKelexo is just entering Ganon's tower, but he will probably ask to check the 22 chests before he start the climb, because he will be probably looking for his sword also. Oh, DrKelexo opening up the useless door. This door is super dangerous in key sanity, because if you use it, then it's totally avoidable, and sometimes it can cost you a lot of time finding another sword there. But in a standard mode, it doesn't really matter. You often like do the climb like with way enough keys anyway. Yeah, if DrKelexo does the tile room before doing the climb and finds a master sword there, he might be in the lead.
I would say he's probably in the lead if that's the case. Certainly would be very shocking to find it there.
Yeah. Oh, almost out of magic here. Oh, but she has out of magic, so she is fine. And Tiara will nicely pick up the full magic refill here. And we're gonna be seeing the first two chests of the higher Ganon's Tower just right next room.
Indeed.
So we need like
four chests to check up here.
Yeah. I wish I had like a little drum, you know, so I can make like an exciting. Oh no!
E. That's a bomb upgrade.
Ooh, 2 more checks. How many slashes of frustration do you think she will display if she doesn't get a sword?
More than you could ever imagine. It's the 2 fairies. Oh, no.
It's the same color as the Master Sword. It's almost the shape. It's like a Fisher-Price Master Sword, like... Use this! And now suddenly Moldorm 2 is like a bit scary now that you don't have... Normally you have Tempered by here, like...
Yeah, or at least Master Sword, you know, you're coming into this with a fair amount of... Oh, she's gonna have to wait till the explosions stop
All right.
to be able to switch.
Everybody...
Unless she knows how to hover. She does not. And...
Oh!
Oh no.
The dream! The dream!
The dream's alive. Now we still don't know what's in Tile Room.
Yeah, but now it's gonna be very hard check to do for Tiara, because when she will kill Aghanim 2, she will be fluted away from the Ganon's Tower up to the pyramid.
Oh yes, that is true. So she'll have to come all the way back to. She would have to come all the way back to GT for that.
Yeah, you do. If you check it, you check it after you check Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and the thing is, if it's a single sword upgrade, it doesn't matter. You're gonna find it somewhere else.
Yeah.
You've got other places to check with that mushroom and that shovel.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bother checking it actually. So. Chat was talking a lot earlier. They were like, man, this kid's gonna go sideways somewhere. He is going sideways in a huge, huge way with only having Fighter Sword, and we're still looking for Master Sword at 1 hour 38 minutes with all the crystals and Ganon's Tower complete.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't say historic moment, but I would say it's like very like it doesn't happen often. Like we were talking about this earlier, like.
Yeah.
If you don't have this Master Sword, you still go in Ganon's Tower and you still go mode, because the chances you will find it there is. And DrKelexo is doing the tile room. Oh, but
Got well mastered.
Yeah, well mastered.
So I wonder if he just gives it up at this point and goes, plays the odds and is like, you know, I'm just gonna go up to the top. Yep.
And he
yep.
does. Oh my god.
I would do that too. I would do that too.
Oh my
Just
god.
don't waste the time going back and do that.
But he didn't even do the left side, right? Oh no, he did it first.
Yeah. Yeah. Just with with that shovel, with that mushroom, you got stuff. Just don't even worry about it. Just go up top and do your thing. You got places to check if it's not in here.
All right. You go for a fetch quest here?
Yeah. I think you absolutely have to get those fetch quests out of the way here. Oh. Gotta go to the witch.
I've done that a few times also.
Yep. Alright. Drum roll. And let's see where this all takes us. There it is.
Oh! It was in GT technically,
Technically, yeah. Oh, that's not fun. So, at about lose the official game time of 1 hour 41 minutes and about 10 seconds, ValkyrieTiara finally mercifully is in go mode.
Yeah, because otherwise she was in go mode around like 1:15, and then the sword.
I think she's just gonna go check this. She's just gonna go back now.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of funny if the shovel had the tempered sword.
Oh yeah, I would be super interested. Well, maybe we'll see a different path from DrKelexo, but I would be interested to see where the other were.
Yeah, I'm curious at this point where those other two sword upgrades are. Just out of like total, like where could they possibly have been?
And it's time to fight Ganon. While Calixto is having a bit of trouble on Fighter Sword, and he's now gonna use the Silver Arrows. Alright, so with Master Sword, for those who don't know, it's 12 spin per round for the first 2 rounds, so because it doesn't do damage enough if you just slash, so you have to do spins. And it can be a bit tricky with the fire. And she doesn't have the cape, so even if she uses the blue cane that she has in her position right now, she will not be able to do spins with the blue cane activated, so it might just be for safeties in between, like right now. Yeah. Oh, nope, you cannot do that.
Nope. I think she's just doing it for safeties at this point.
Yeah. I think the sprite of the... With cape you can do it, but not with the blue cane. And we know where cape is though, right? Cape is on a...
Yes. It's hiding out on the Bombo's tablet.
Yeah. Yeah, Master Sword Ganon is pretty hard for the first 2 phases, but after that it gets... and since they have the Silver Arrows, it gets a bit easier after the second phase is over. And Tiara is gonna be super good because she has 4 blue potions in her possession, so even though she's taking a bit of damage every phase, she can fully replenish it 2 more times. Alright, here we go for the third phase. Oh, the warps. Ganem is
Again, please.
he's
Settle
having
down.
fun tonight. Yeah.
Alright, so on the
And it's
phase
even-
4.
It's even more trolly on the Master Sword.
Yeah, we're kind of hard to miss.
Fire torch
Nice
just acquired.
dodge.
Yeah.
Indeed. Nice dodge on the torch glitch, so gotta be careful here. Gotta watch those bounces. So the nice thing about this is having those silvers, you can do the spins right at the start. You don't have to worry about, you know, am I doing it right when you teleport?
Oh, that was close. Very
Super
close.
Careful now. One more to go.
Oh, she actually
She
got
does.
a idiot.
Ooh. That was close. And
Here it goes.
nicely done. So that was, wow, that was like super close with and DrKelexo falls off. Very tough Mold Arm 2 fight.
Yeah, without
But do you get those GGs in chat? Because ValkyrieTiara has finished
Yep.
as our winner with an official SRTV time 1 hour 45 minutes and 53 seconds.
That's a super great time.
For what the sea did, absolutely.
Yeah. No, Fire Sword Ganon's Tower. The dream. I don't know what to dream for anymore. All my dreams have been they are all getting realized.
You can always find something new. I'm sure you'll figure
and
out.
Dr.
You got it.
DrKelexo just realizing, oh, I don't have a Master Sword, and he has some frustration slashes himself.
Well, good news is we know where that Master Sword is now. So let's see if we can get Tiara in here. Yes, indeed. We'll get that set up for you, Tiara. Just a moment.
Oh, and DrKelexo going for the Swagnet strats now that he knows he will be second, and I approve of the strategy here, and he gets a double.
Indeed. So we will get Tiara in here in just a moment for you guys.
Nice fight. Let's see if DrKelexo is gonna struggle a bit more than Tiara for the mushroom for the Master Sword, but mushroom is an easy one because of potion and flute, so it's highly probable. But it'd be interesting if he finds somewhere else, so we have more information at the end of the day. Looks like we're gonna get the Fat Fairy check, I think.
We might, yeah.
And it's not a bad choice because it's in the Dark World, it's near, and it's 2 checks at once.
Okay, so I think Tiara's here.
Yep.
Oh. And
GG.
GG. Hello, welcome, Tiara. Congratulations on your win.
And that was it for the end.
No, I think she's still just setting up her mic a little bit here.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Hey, how you doing?
What a seed that was, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. That was. Oh my goodness. Well, we managed to make Scary's dream come true of having to leave Ganon's tower to find an item to complete the game. So.
Yeah, I was mentioning at the at the start of the seed that my dream is to see a seed where the runner is going into Ganon's tower and then they exit without a sword, and that's just
We're
happened.
pretty close, man. I was like half clearing dungeons and stuff, looking for a sword. I'm being told to mute my stream. I can talk. I'm not sure what they're talking about. Tiara is a dude. Tiara is a transgender person who presents as male. So that's what Tiara is. Whatever you want to call that, you want to call that a dude, then I'm not going to cry myself to sleep at night, chat. But that's me. Tiara is a winner.
Tiara is a winner, indeed.
Oh man, I got so nervous. Persona Sin came into my chat and started donating. Like when I was in Ganon's tower, and I'm like, oh my god, this must be like a really close race. I was in IP. And like halfway through IP, and Persona Sin comes in and starts like donating bits, and I'm like, oh god, they're right behind me. Like this is ridiculous. and then in Ganon's tower, someone else came in. I'm sorry, other person who donated. Thank both of you so much, by the way. Someone else came in, and donated some more bits, and I was like, oh, I don't have the right sword. People are donating. This is awful.
No, it was really a nice scene to watch.
Screwing with me.
Oh my goodness. Ooh, that's my first win, actually. My first win where my opponent didn't forfeit because they couldn't complete the seed. So
oh, man,
I was very nervous. And it's a PB. What's my time? My PB was in RTA was 2:07. So that's like more than 20 minutes beating my PB. Yeah,
and all that
145.53. Oh, I'm so happy with that race.
Yeah, and all that in a seed where there was no Master Sword out of Ganon's tower. That's like very.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. I had a little bit of an advantage in that sense. People who watch when I commentate will probably know this because I never shut up about it. I'm actually a swordless runner.
All right.
So
nice.
Like no sword, like no Master Sword. I had a hammer. You know what? I was fine. But the whole time I'm like, can't fight Ganon with a hammer in this mode. I don't know what to do. I don't have a Master Sword.
Yeah, we noticed that you did like pretty good on the Moldorm fight with the hammer.
Yeah. Moldorm hammer I actually did really bad for me, to be honest. Those fights, like I fell off once and I was like, I feel awful about this. Yeah, no, those were, for me, using the hammer, those were mediocre fights, I guess. I don't want to say bad, but they were not my best.
Yeah.
But oh man, it was because before the race, like when the races are announced, right? I go and like check out my opponent's channels to see what, just kind of psych myself out.
Just a bit of scouting.
Yeah, just to see I don't usually like watch all of their races. I'm not trying to. It's not like I can mess with them. I'm not trying to foil their strategies or something. But I just want to have an idea of what kind of what I'm in for, what kind of runner they are. Usually, and usually they're like, oh, their average is like better than my PB. I'm like, well, that's the race that I'm in now. And DrKelexo was pretty close to me, but his average seemed to be around my PB, so I was a little worried. But oh man, yeah.
Well, what was the big difference, I think, in the seed is that DrKelexo found the lamp very late. He went into desert, but he never checked the checkerboard cave, and I don't think he was he didn't want to do the dark rooms mostly, so he had to check for a lot of things before. While you could
I think the
From
only
the get-go.
dark rooms we had to do
Mr. Meyer.
were Meyer, and then if you don't, he didn't check the checkerboard cave because he didn't want to even. I understand because I do the same thing where it's like if I don't have the item, I'm not even gonna go to Meyer. Like I'm not gonna go check the checkerboard cave on the way to Meyer because I ain't going to Meyer without the lamp.
Wow.
No, I gotcha.
Yeah. Well, because he went to do Meyer as a super bunny to get into desert to get the moon pearl, and then when he got the moon pearl, he went somewhere else. You know.
I did
well,
the
you
same
get
thing.
you got out of the dungeon and go and check that, and that's what put you in a very advantageous position because at this point I think Doctor was a bit ahead of you, but then you walked past him and you won the seed.
Yeah, I made some. I can't believe I died in escape. Oh man, that was embarrassing. Like right away, the first guard or whatever killed me, and I'm like, all right, I guess this is the seed that I'm running right now. GG. But yeah, oh man, I'm just so hyped up right now.
And DrKelexo finishes.
Doctor, hey, good job.
Indeed.
With a time of 1:53. I don't know if it's the official time.
I don't think it's the official time, but we did
I don't
get
think
a
he
time
has.
at least officially entered it in yet, but it's 1:55:33.
156.
Kelexo, you gotta hit that.
You got it. 156.
Okay, excellent.
Nice job. Oh man, what a seed though. I'm just really glad because I've had seeds kind of like this before, where it's everything's really nice and it's so good. But then usually I'll bite it during the execution. I'll die a bunch. I was really afraid that I was just gonna die to Ganon over and over and over. That I had a seed. I was just running just for practice, a week or two ago, and let that go. Just a week or two ago, and I was doing really well, and I got to Ganon at about 155, I think, and then it took me about 20 minutes to beat Ganon, and I was really mad.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Also, we saw you using the blue cane, trying to hit the spins with that.
Yeah. I'm not used to again. I'm a swordless runner, so cane strats. You can't use the cane and the hammer at the same time on Ganon. So I was like, haha, I'm just gonna do this.
A few swordless runs myself, and I know it's possible to do armor without silver arrows.
No, they say that, but those are dirty liars. No, I would rather. I'll go look for the arrows things. I'd rather lose a race than do silverless. Swordless.
One I did was crossroll, Kisanity, swordless, and the silver arrows were actually in Ganon's tower. But you have to open it with the crystal, and I forgot about that because it's. I tried to do Ganon's tower forever with the hammer.
You guys saw I full cleared Ganon's tower looking for a sword, just there's gotta be a sword somewhere. I was so happy. I couldn't believe the witch had it. I was like, yes. I just happened to go there first and got one.
Yeah. Did you think it could be in the tile room?
Yeah, I was like, there's 3 swords just hanging out, just having a good time in the world. There's got to be one in the hookshot cave, which I hadn't been able to get to earlier. That was another embarrassing thing. I tried to do the Super Bunny cave and failed to do that.
Yeah, the Super Bunny cave, you were so close to doing it. You have to go from the top, I think.
Yeah, and I did go around and go to the top, and I was like, oh, I'm going to jump down and land on a ledge and go in. And I jumped down and was like, oh, no ledge. Yeah. I'm not even going to go all the way back around again. I'm just going to do
And we're going to welcome DrKelexo here for the interview also. GG.
Hello. GG.
DrKelexo, GG. Good race. Wow.
That was Where were the swords?
From the top, I think.
Yeah, and I
got the
did go
same
around
two
and
you
go to
did.
the top, and I was like,
Oh.
oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
jump
Oh,
down
I
and
don't
land on a
know.
ledge and go in.
I don't know.
And I
The
jumped
sword-
down. and I was
we
like,
don't
oh,
know either,
no
unfortunately.
ledge.
They're in Turtle
I'm
Rock.
not even gonna
That's
go
what
all the
I'm
way back
gonna
around
say.
again. I'm just gonna
They're
do
in
something.
I
Turtle
think-
And
one of them
we're
is
gonna
on
welcome
Mafia,
Dr. Kelexo
and
here
the
for the
other
interview.
one
Also,
is somewhere. Is the other one is in the Mimic Cave in Turtle Rock? That's where they are.
It's on laser. It's on Trinex.
Yeah, there you go. I had a seed where Mirror was on Trinex once. That was amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
we were super like wondering where are the other swords. Like we
Gee, you were wondering. Damn swords in this. Can I say that word? I'm sorry, my bad. Man, oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
my- Yeah,
That was-
And we
That
just
was
saw from the generic that it's not on pedestal, at least, because it just said the
Mhm.
rupee.
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself too, like, oh my god, it would be this game where I go to Ganon's Tower, beat Aga 2, and then have to go get another sword off Ped or something like. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was. We were joking about that, like, oh yeah, it's gonna be something like that, and then sure enough, that's what it turns out to be, and it's just kind of like, okay.
I was hoping that the sword would be on the shovel, the magic powder, and the mushroom, but sadly not true.
Well, one of them was on the mushroom,
Well, okay, yeah, one of them was.
and
but
I didn't check the other ones, so you could still be right.
the shovel, I think, according to the thing, was was it just money?
Oh, I didn't. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking.
Don't know
Yeah.
about the powder. I didn't check that.
Yeah, we did not check the powder, unfortunately. We did get to see that the pedestal was just
Rupees.
like a
Like
rupees,
100,
yeah,
300.
100 or 300, yeah.
Yeah, I
Going
think,
through was it the second statue fight? I already forgot their names. Seeing both the shovel and the mushroom side by side is like, oh, it's gonna be this, isn't it? Like that was like the worst thing I could have seen were two fetch quests.
Yeah, the two that were hanging out there in GT, I think we were kind of thinking the same thing. It's like, one of those has to be a sword. One of them's got to be
yeah.
a sword. Just for the sake of these poor runners, please.
I mean, I'm glad it was, because if it was inside a dungeon, that would have been the worst.
yeah, you've suffered enough in this seed. Like Kelexo, you were unfortunate enough to do ice before swamp, and you had to do cold stare with hammer and fire sword.
Oh yeah, that wasn't fun. I was just so happy it didn't die there. But yeah, that.
And like while you were doing it, Tiara was in swamp that was accessible to you, and then we saw, oh, and there's the fire. That would be useful for Dr. Kelexo here.
Yeah, I Cold Stare's been giving me a lot of trouble lately, as well, and I was really pleased with that Cold Stare fight. I had to get like 1 or 2 hammer hits in, I think, but yeah, I was really pleased with that.
Very nice.
I was just upset that I went to desert that early and I didn't check checkerboard, even though it was totally possible. And
Yes.
there was the lamp.
I almost didn't. I actually almost died to a murder dactyl on the way to checkerboard. I had 1 hit left on me. I was like,
we
quick,
saw
hit
that.
the thing. Yeah, so I almost didn't go check it, and then I almost died on the way to checking it, and I was like, it's funny that it ended up being so important, because like I was like, oh man, I shouldn't have done this. This is an awful idea. And then I got in there and I was like, oh, the lamp. goody, ooh, the lamp. And then it actually ended up being really important. So
Yeah.
it shows what I know about this video game.
That's what I felt about desert, where I went there without the moon pearl, and I was like, I mean, I just had a bad feeling the moon pearl was going to be in somewhere stupid. And so I decided to take a risk. And then halfway there, I was like, no, there's no way this could pay off. And then there it was. Right there in the middle
Yeah.
desert chest.
And as I was saying to Tiara just before you came, you were a little bit you had a bit of a lead where at this point in the seed, and when you didn't check the lamp, that's where it all started to fall a bit apart for you in terms of routing when you went into pod and stuff. And Tiara, she got the lamp, and from there on out, she took the lead slowly, and it was like pretty close in the end, but. You had the lead there at the beginning.
I had a feeling that might have been all right for me, but yeah, after just after that, I took more risks because I figured, oh, the first one paid off, so let's do Pod and let's do Eastern, and none of those are working out for me. So
yeah, I was like, I kept having in the back of my mind, like, oh, I can do this or I can go do that. Like, I didn't get to check Zora. Like, one of my big early game goals is usually to like check Zora as soon as I can, just to get it out of the way. And there was like no money in this game, and I didn't check Zora until super later. And then I was looking for a sword. I was like, please have a sword, please have a sword. And then he gave me flippers, and I was like, oh yeah, I need those. Oh, that's pretty nice too, I guess.
Yeah, I was surprised when Kelexo went to he went there with the foot or fake flippers, I'm not sure, and I was surprised when he quit before checking Zora. I was like, well, why doesn't he check it? And it was like 40 minutes in the run, and usually you have the money. And then we're like, oh, he has only $300 at this time in the run. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I checked it as soon as I had the 500,
Yeah.
which I kind of slowed it down by going to Pod first, but still, I never had the 500 until Graveyard Ledge. I looked, I was like, oh hey, I'm pretty close to that. Let's go check that out real quick. Oh, they're the flippers.
Yeah, there were a few things that I was just like I didn't even know like what was going on, and I was like, I can't do this, but I can do that. What is this seed? Like,
You got so many good items in the beginning, like everything opened up.
yeah, it
And
was
yet-
nice.
Yeah, there were, no swords and no fire sources for most of the run, I think.
I had a fire source.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I mean, there was a fire source if I had gone to the place I should have gone to.
No,
Oops.
but and then there's like a lot of little tricks that I still haven't gotten around to learning yet. Like I skipped Hobo early when I went in there to I was gonna do something, and oh yeah, it's when I went to do I went to go to Zora, and I wanted to do Hobo right then, but I couldn't because I don't know how to do fake flipper from Hobo. There's a way to do it, and I don't know how to do it. And
Oh,
I'm
that
like,
one.
all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard that one's pretty tricky. I've never faked there, so.
And then I messed up Super Bunny. I don't know IPBJ. I was just like,
Yeah.
all of these things that I'm not doing. Like IPBJ would have been really actually kind of useful.
Yeah, because you could go mode at this point.
Yeah,
But he was still looking for a
I
sword,
was
so
still
it
looking
didn't.
for a sword.
I
It was
mean,
kind of like half and half.
yeah, it's like you could kind of go mode it pretty early on. It seemed like a pretty fast seed aside from just not having swords.
Once I finally got the bow, I was like, I was like, oh, so hyped. But then yeah, it messes with you when you're in like, I call it like a soft go mode or like a pseudo go mode, where like you have everything you need to get to Ganon's Tower, but you don't necessarily have everything you need to get through Ganon's Tower or to beat Ganon. And so like I was like half clearing some dungeons and stuff, and then but not getting a sword, and thinking, man, like, because I didn't do the left half of
Mr. Meyer?
no, I thought about doing that too, actually, but Meyer and also
on Meyer and on Swamp Palace.
on Swamp Palace, yeah. And so I'm just going through Ganon's Tower like, gosh, I really hope there's not a sword in Swamp Palace right now.
Oh man, this left side of Swamp Palace was like the biggest middle finger, really, because it was the map and the compass. So
Now I feel good.
yeah, I went over there and I found both of those side by side. I'm like, that was the worst thing it could have possibly been.
What was in? Did you check the big chest? Because I got the big key, but then didn't go back for the big chest.
I did, but I don't remember. It was something like, I think it was just
DS.
Yeah, I think it was 5 rupees.
Yeah, it was rupees.
Oh,
I mean, I was 100% convinced I was going to find a sword in Ganon's Tower because I couldn't have gone through this much of the game.
yeah, me
And
too.
then
Like,
not be a sword.
did you full clear Ganon's Tower?
I did almost all of it and do tile room and like whatever's on the right. Because
I did the right side. I didn't do tile room. I think the big chest in there had like a rupee or a arrow.
and a single arrow.
Like okay, thanks, Ganon.
Kelexo got us hyped because he went for the tile room, but then he got wall mastered, and then he left away, and we were like, oh damn, wanted to see what's there.
I would have done tile room if I'd had a cape, but I just didn't.
Yeah.
The combination of it taking so long and not wanting to deal with it.
And seeing the cape on that, where was it? The desert. What is it called? The slab.
Yeah.
the
Bombos
tablet.
tablet.
Yeah, I checked that. I didn't have, a sword, of course, but I was able to look at it, and it's like, oh, that's the cape. I sure hope I don't need that.
Yeah, I didn't check either of those. That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know where the cape was. I also didn't check Bumper Cave.
It was like a heart piece.
Alright. Yeah, I didn't. There's a bunch of stuff I didn't do. It's just like I got all the big stuff, and then like when I was going around looking for another sword after Ganon's Tower, I was like, great. There's like 100 items out there, and they're all one shots. Awesome. And then I just went to Witch first, and she had one, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, you'd think with finding those two specific items in GT and not finding a sword, one of them would have to have a sword. Like, I find that shovel when it's placed in a dungeon like that, usually in Turtle Rock for me, it's a sign. Go dig that up right now.
They're both on Laser Bridge. I just know it. Just
I've seen that before, actually. I've seen two swords on Laser Bridge. So
Yeah. All right. So, any of you final thoughts before we wrap this up?
I'm sad.
I'm sorry. I'm happy. I got an awesome PB and my first win against an opponent that didn't forfeit. I'm sorry that I made you sad, but
No, it's not you. Honestly, I had a really good time. I had a really good time going into Ganon's Tower. Like, I thought I was doing pretty good. I was like, if I just find a sword, then I'll be okay. And then it just went all downhill.
I mentioned this earlier, but when I was in Ice Palace, which was my last dungeon, I don't know about you, but it was my last dungeon. I was like halfway through Ice Palace, and someone came into my chat and started donating bits, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's right behind me! This is like a super close race right now." And then when I was in Ganon's Tower, someone else came in and started donating bits, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is!" And I was like freaking out, but yeah, hey. Good game, good race.
Good race.
Yeah. Shouts to the commentators, shouts to the restreamer and trackers and all the staff who makes everything go, and extra special shouts to everyone watching. Thanks, guys. Stick around. There's going to be more. If you want to check out my channel, that's cool too. I just won a race, so maybe you'll enjoy it.
If you want to see
my
me,
name is ValkyrieTiara, and this has been my victory.
Oh man.
All right.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys very much for the wonderfully entertaining race. Thank you as well for the post-match interview here, and always a good reminder to follow our runners.
Please do.
And also make sure to follow the fine people who are helping to bring you all of this. So that would be tracking tonight. Drosy did a wonderful job. Thank you so much for helping out Drosy. And of course myself and my co-commentator Scary Olive. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
You got
And
your
thank
wish.
you,
That's awesome.
You are Neon Tiger.
Indeed I am.
It was great working with you all, and it was a super nice race to watch. And I hope everybody has a great night. And I don't know what's on the other channels, but I'm sure there's still a lot of races tonight.
There is
going on right now.
There's one race going on right now on Speed Gaming 3. It's got Strumpet Playa and Zaphod are going at it. And there's, if you want a little bit different rando, Zelda 2 rando is on Speed Gaming 2 right now, their weekly race.
Nice. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a good night.
Indeed. Good night, good luck, and good RNG. Catch you guys later.
Always.